Hey everybody.
Hello. We are doing a pre-recorded thingy just to go over what the group's about, since Mom made it no. But uh, I'm Alex, the Priest of Ashes, and
I'm Nisi, better known as Carolyn Denise.
yeah.
Hey everybody. Thank you for joining us.
So why was the group made? Because there's good information out there and there's bad information out there. And there's a lot of groups that go on and they just share stuff and they don't really have many people talking about like explanations of it. It's just share. Whenever it should be more of a we should have a conversation about things. Or the groups are following one specific person's work and they start to act like they're worshiping that person and they're not questionable. That's not right. We're supposed to be trying to figure out what is going on here. It's a synthesis that we're making. So, like ancient astronaut theory, the real truth, um, it's about the ancient astronaut theory because that's about the only thing that really makes sense if you sit here and think critically about the human condition and why we're here. Um, if humans naturally evolved on Earth, let's go ahead and put that out there because science tells us we come from apes. Cool. So if we evolved from Earth, then why do we lose the most basic qualification for us being on this planet, which would be our fur? If we had fur, we wouldn't get burned by the sun. We would have that protective layer, just like all the other animals do. So evolution is supposed to move towards beneficial things. If we were evolving here for a long period of time and we were on this planet, then you would think that we would be able to be outside for long periods of time regardless of the sunlight coming down upon us. But that's just not how this functions inside this body. So that's one thing that evolution's like, oh no. Then another thing, how's there 4,000 different genetic birth defects that happen to the human species that can kill us from birth?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense inside that whole we evolved naturally because all the other animals maybe have 10 that can pop up, but they don't really have that
As
many
many as we
things
do.
going on. Yeah. Now, the dogs are bad examples and cats because we kind of specifically bred them for purposes and made them have defects in their genetic code.
Yes.
So you can't really throw them in there. But other animals, they don't really have that many defects as far as inhibit them from being able to live properly. But we have various things that can happen to a child in vitro that will keep them from being able to grow.
Correct.
So once again, nature, the natural way of doing things, we wouldn't have evolved to have that, and we would have lost our fur. Just because you get bigger brain doesn't mean you lose the all the strength that's behind it.
Correct.
So, and another thing that we're going over, like, why is gold so important to us? Why is it that we sit here and it's like, we know it's shiny. Yeah, ooh, gold, shiny. But why has it been coveted by kings and queens throughout the years? It could have been anything. Personally, I like silver better than I like gold. The color of it and the shininess of it. Or rubies and gemstones. All these things were coveted. The gold especially. Why?
Yeah.
Why is it inbred in us that gold is such a high thing? Well, it comes from our early psyche, according to ancient astronaut theory, that this species was made to mine gold.
Correct.
And that's the main thing. Now, people are like, oh, the species was made. That means you don't believe in God. That is incorrect.
Yeah.
Very incorrect.
We do believe
if you go into the ancient historical texts and the place where the people talk about that they made humans, even they refer to the creator of all or the God that creates everything. So it's something else that's out there. And what's ended up happening over time with our historical texts and our ancestors, and these people putting out bad information, trying to control the narratives, they have made this thing that's all laced together, and people don't have the different aspects separated out because they're taught to move in blind faith. So this is more than just blind faith. This is more actually sitting back and thinking for yourself and rationalizing what's actually happening. Now, that's what I'll be doing whenever I speak, and that's what she does whenever she speaks. And if you all get on here and decide to speak your own thing, that'll be cool too. Add more people, bring more friends that are interested inside this
Open and
idea.
free thinkers and people. We all know that we're all mature, and we expect that up front. I didn't do a list of groups, a list of rules for this group because I feel like, but we're all adults and we can all respectfully disagree. And I feel, as well as Alex feels, that everything is interconnected. That means religion, politics, government. People want to separate them out.
Science.
Yes, sacred
physics,
geometry.
Geometry.
Yes.
Every single thing is all connected. Now, how do we make it connect together? That's the key part.
And that's why we set up this group.
Yeah, I also have the Asylum. That's going to be used more for Project Renaissance, which is coming up next year soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to actually make that into a thing, especially for the charity that we have coming up, or I have coming up. This group is for those who are starting to feel, or have already always known, that things are off on this planet and what's actually going on, so that you can be able to speak to other people that may just now be starting to feel that things are going wrong. They're trying to figure out, well, why is it like this? Those who are tired of sitting in front of TV screens and being fed information and stuff that's close to being proper and true, but they change just a little last bit inside of it to make it where it throws you off the case. And this happens quite often inside of our society today, that things are made and they're thrown off the original track that they're supposed to go on. So a lot of stuff will be covered inside of here.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of books.
Tons.
And there's a lot of reading
that
goes on so much.
And we hope that you guys chime in, like, share, subscribe, and most definitely, please, please, please always remember, go ahead.
There's no subscribing. That's
Well, this is going to be, so when I say subscribing, meaning that this will also be uploaded to YouTube through the Mind's Eye 4555 page, which is one that I created.
I guess I can upload our videos to the Priest of Ashes too.
So that's why I say like, share, subscribe. This is a private group, yes, but for the sake of some of the content, or majority of the content, it will also be aired on YouTube as well. So if you guys are interested in downloading some of the stuff and going back and replaying it or re-listening to it at a later time, we will also share content from other pages. Some of the folks that I've talked to personally, Woodward TV, Matt LaCroix, Gerald Clark, I will be reaching out to him. Alex and I at some point here in the next couple of weeks in 2020. We are looking at doing the structural integration, and that's very important to the path that we are all seeking. And hopefully with us forming this group, we'll be able to exchange information more readily, make it more readily available and more quicker, I guess you could say, than trying to go through thousands and thousands of pages on YouTube and just scrolling and listening to data. I mean, there are some people that we subscribe to. Yeah, he and I both. That's what we do. When we are plugged into the matrix, we are plugged in for a purpose.
Plugged into the matrix? What are you talking about?
Because we all live in a construct. I mean,
we all live in a construct.
This is
the construct is construct of my making, and guess what? I don't plug into the matrix that much. I don't.
Well, I call it that because of.
There's no point for me.
We're laughing because it's like, what? Yeah, I call it the matrix because for me it is it's society, it's life, it's what we've been taught since birth. And my philosophy or my understanding may differ a little bit from Alex's, but that's where we mesh together. And we don't always agree on things. We respectfully disagree on quite a bit. It's like we're arguing with ourselves because I think we are somewhat similar. We have likable traits, I guess you could say, being mother and son, and born so many days within each other's birthdays. So anyway, when I say construct of matrix, I am talking about just this life in general, our perception as we see everything around us from our five senses, and what we've been indoctrinated into in this world. Because we all have to work, we all have to pay bills and have a roof over our head, and those typical basic things. That's what I mean by the construct of the matrix. You all have to function as a certain way in work and out in public and in our day-to-day life.
That's just society. That's not a matrix to me. That's just those are retarded.
Well, I call it the matrix, so that's what I mean. So that's why I'm explaining it to you guys, so you understand what I'm saying when I say that.
My matrix is more so the geometrical breakdown of things and how the senses perceive things.
Correct.
And how you unlock and relieve your unlimited power, aka light, that's within you, given to you by the omniscient, ever-present, all one. And of course, we'll go through that and break down and make definitions and show things so you can understand the understanding, the teachings, as I call them. But yeah.
So that's why we made this page. Yeah, we don't want to go too long. We just want to make this page and just kind of give it a little quick intro. And please, you guys, I have scrolled through many of you guys' pages, and you guys have some. Well, I have a couple of them, a couple people that I invited because I invited way more than you. I by myself looked at a couple of people that I've been following online through social media, Facebook, social media platform, and I do watch those pages quite regularly every day. I'll go out there and look and see if they've posted anything. So I do know that there are quite a few people that I've invited myself that are on that same level of understanding, and they are seeking the path. So that's why I reached out to them to have them to join the group so that they can chime in and give input as well. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah. And if I invited you, then either us, I know you know, I know you're seeking to know, or you may have no idea.
That you know.
I feel you have the potential to know.
Yeah.
Yes. What? I'm ancient Chinese master secret. Yeah, that's what I do. The sage that does things. I'm not drinking right now, but that's what I do. I drink and know things. Yes.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Later.
Have a great day. Bye.